using risk capital you can afford to lose if you're playing this game. E for eminywizard.com and marketwizards.com. Tough coming into 75. Target, we said 74 and a quarter to 72. And risk reward, now we're starting to get into that zone. You can trail. There's a trend type trade right now looking for that gap fill. And then when we get within a point or two of it, risk and reward changes. Because now you're risking, say, 5 points to try to make 1 or 2 more. And that's the art form of trading. It's at 85 resistance. We're going to keep it there for now. And that's to try to get to the 74 and a quarter to 72. T2 today, 74. Gap fill, 74 and a quarter. Not too bad. Not a lot of resistance built up in this 30-minute bar. Need a little formation, a little sideways action, a little backing and filling. If you've had a good day and got the trend trade, congrats. Don't always be looking to just buy the contra. And this is the distance that we have gone. Lower highs, lower lows, and still saying don't get caught short today. The reason I say that is because news can change at any time, and certainly you want to take out as much as you can from the market, but you also want to be prudent. And you usually on new lows, you want to make sure you get paid on the new lows. And that's what causes the market to bounce as traders say, you know what, I'm happy. I don't need those last 2 points. I'm happy. Hard as saying, I know you're right there. I can get you. And then, geez, what happened? Very, very challenging as a trader if you always want the last piece of every swing. So for me, this is one of the ways I identify the gaps and try to remind myself. You look ahead and you go to a chart and you say, okay, let's put a line to show ourselves where that gap is. And you can take them off after a while. But we know this was a gap. Failure here, and then we've got the gap over here, 74 and a quarter. And if you're looking at your 5-minute chart, you can clearly see the umbrella trade. In all, shorting in all tough. Bounces up, then we catch this, news comes out, slammer. These traders are caught. So this really was distribution yesterday, as I thought it might be. And here's a 2-minute chart. So if you're using this system, you can just kind of look to the faster charts and then look for the deeper ones to give you some ideas. You can see the crossover on this wrecking ball trade, and then we have stayed underneath that. You can use a 1. I like the 2s or 3s. And the 1 will show you the same thing. '82 was support. We said till broken, got broken. Said if it did, then the 78 to 74 targets became available. Deeper look. We also said pay attention to the first level back on the yearly basis, and that is 67. So we want to plant that seed in our mind already of this proportion. Doesn't have to be hit today, doesn't have to be hit tomorrow. We want to be aware of it. We want to understand these relationships. Okay, this is the predictive chart. OTF. That means the larger players. This is the weekly. And we want to understand this chart because it gives us more than just 1 day's range. It gives us 3 or 4 or 5 days of ideas in terms of potential highs. 8, 28, 12 and a half. Remember I said that's a very big pivot. And we can see how that has worked. Still not calling a top. Still saying we're at a high level base. And the reason we know that is because we're still in the top box of the yearly. So failure here today at the flipper has caused this to come down, come back up, double top test, then the news event, and we've had about a 3.5 box swing. We can see this 73.5. The idea at the bottom of this box. So if you're following the bouncing ball in all of these charts, you want to take a look and understand where these different proportions are coming from. So on a big boy level, this is also a very important chart to say, okay, I get it. This 73.5 is to 93, as 93 is to that 12.5. Simple as that. Right? Because this is the bottom of the frame and these are the extremes down here. That's the extreme range. And above here is the extreme range. Said don't give back 5 points to make 1 or 2 more. Classic example of that. Still doesn't mean we can't get those targets, but they're not going to make it easy. So let's use 85 resistance. Anybody that's long side, if you've taken a contra, get paid 82 to 83. Don't forget that was this point right here. There's a retest of that breakdown. Right, yesterday's low. Right there. Hope this stuff makes sense to you guys. Doing my best to try to share some of the things that taken us a long time to learn. Hope it helps.